Oh yeah, it's the weekend, and you know what that means. It's time for Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com with your hosts, Corey, Manny, and Tommy. And now, broadcasting from planet Earth, it's time for Pixels and Bits. Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey. Hi, welcome to episode 64 of Pixels and Bits. I am your host as always, and I am joined by my co-host Manny. Say hi, Manny.
What's up, everyone?
Tommy and Andrew are not here because they have to go and be assholes and pimps at the same time.
That's kind of a contradictory, but okay.
Exactly. It is because it is kind of a contradictory, but whatever. I mean, Tommy has to go see some stupid play.
Hey, but I have to sympathize with him on that one.
Boo on the fine arts. Boo.
And then Andrew, well, let's see, between saving the polar bears and what else, Corey?
Yeah, I think he's also trying to prevent World War III in the Ukraine as well.
Yeah, that and something about Amish people dealing lightsabers. Not quite sure how that turns out.
Andrew's actually kind of a mole inside the Amish mafia.
And who'd have thought they use the laser swords?
Exactly. I mean,
secretly, of course.
Well, I mean, like, although you could say, well, why were they using laser swords? They're not it's electricity, but then the Amish could say these are God's laser swords, and that means it's like, oh, hey, God made those things. That's cool in our book. But
yeah,
I'm not going to get into Amish religion here. We're going to get into the news desk. Hit the music. All right. I apologize because I didn't have a whole lot of time to organize these stories, but let's get started with the rumor mill. First off, Sony might be showing off their Oculus Rift headset thing. Nobody knows what it's called exactly, just the Sony VR headset. It's going to be shown off next week, supposedly, at the game's developer conference. Ugh, tongue twisters. My tongue is twisted, Manny. Help me. Oh, God. But I'm kind of bummed that they're actually just duking it out with Oculus Rift, and they could have easily just saved themselves a lot of money in R&D just by buying Oculus Rift, and they would get John Carmack in tow with it.
Mm-hmm. And, correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, but my understanding is this device is not anything like the Oculus Rift. It's more like just having an HD TV glued to your eyes.
Sort of like that, and I hear it has head tracking, but from my understanding, it's not as accurate as the Oculus Rift is.
Uh-huh.
Which is why I like... Can you imagine playing Amnesia with the Oculus Rift? Or Outlast? That'd be the most terrifying thing in the entire world.
And then there's Sword Art Online. Goodbye, world.
No, Manny, I thought you wanted to go live in Log Horizon.
No, I'd rather be in Infinite Stratos, but that's just me.
Oh, because Manny wants to be stuck in his own harem.
Yeah, of mech girls. Yeah.
Now, next rumor is that we may have seen what the rental costs for PlayStation Now might be. Gaikai in their little concept art for the PlayStation Now listed Far Cry 3 at $6 and Uncharted 3 at $5. Now, I don't know if the rentals are for a day or for a month, but you know what? Hey, if the rental's like a week or whatever, it's like, hey, that you get to have that game for a week. I'm like, I'd be cool with that. But until we actually know, it's just a rumor. Last rumor, multiplayer details for Mirror's Edge 2. It's here's what we know. It may feature a multiplayer drop-in and out component in an open world city.
Nice.
And it's going to have a new redefined combat system. And this is really all we know. Other that, and it's going to be released sometime in 2016.
Which is a little ways from now. But
That's
anyhow.
a ways from now, but you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I mean, let's see. It took us 8 years to get another Mirror's Edge. 8 years. Damn.
So I take it you played the first one?
Yes, I did. I actually liked it. I really, really liked it. Though I can understand why people say they get like super sick playing the game.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, but then again, I've never had like motion sickness ever, so it didn't bother me.
Now imagine playing that game on Oculus Rift.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No.
Whoa.
Like, as you're like hurtling over between buildings, you look down, you're just like, oh shit! Anyways, now for DLC announcements. First off, Konami has confirmed DLC for Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, and you get to play as Alucard.
Ooh, there you go, Dax.
It'll be coming out on March 25th, and it'll cost $10. I'm down with that.
Oh, I'm totally down with that.
Next up is another fighter has been added to you and me's favorite fighting game, Injustice.
Oh, I thought it was BlazBlue.
Well, that's second favorite, but I will remember like you and me marathoning the story campaign, and it took us an hour to beat a Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody picked hard difficulty. Thanks. Now, the new character that's been announced is Darkseid.
Well, of course.
Oh, which means he's gonna be overpowered as fuck.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of cursing involved.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Next up, Kingdom Hearts is having a bit of an interesting fan experiment right now. For Kingdom Hearts 3, Square Enix is doing a survey to where fans can have influence into, or have a say into, what they want and what they don't want to see from Kingdom Hearts. Like, there might be some people that want a Kingdom Hearts first-person shooter. And for those people who do, go fuck yourselves.
Oh, Corey.
I'm serious. Can you think of anything worse?
How is that even possible?
Jesus. God, I'm just like imagining this like a Call of Duty thing. Goofy, Donald, you breached that door. Roger! It's like, damn it, Goofy, I said pilot the helicopter. Shucks there, Sora.
Oh, that's just too weird, man.
Oh, that would be terrible. But yes, just go to Square Enix's Facebook page, and it's on. I'm sorry, not Square Enix, Kingdom Hearts Facebook page, and it's on their wall. I believe it's the last post that they had, which was March 6th. Because what else are you going to talk about? I mean, seriously, we've seen a trailer out of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
and from my understanding, that game is barely in development. So we probably won't see it till like 2016 at the earliest.
Oh, that's not cool.
I mean, what? I mean, at least we got a Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
At least we didn't. I mean, at least we didn't get like Square Enix, like the old Square Enix, like circle jerking us around and be like, hey guys, there's a new Kingdom Hearts and it's for iPad only.
Yeah.
And then for Goofy and Donald to do anything useful, that's $1. It's just like, oh, you want to go to the next world? That's $5. There you go. Yeah. It's called Kingdom Hearts. We want more money. Yeah. Anyways, now let's move on to censorship. More specifically, censorship over a very, 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 very vulgar game. That is Stick of Truth.
Of course.
Oh.
South Park.
And I must say, like, the censorship, I can see why it's validated. Especially when you have a section of the game where you're playing Simon Says, and if you screw up on Simon Says, it involves Randy and an anal probe.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Actually, no, earlier I was playing the game, and there's a scene where you get shrunk down to like the size of a mouse to fight gnomes. And then when you have the final boss battle with the gnome, you're fighting on your parents' bed as your parents are doing it. And that scene was completely cut out. I mean, like, so like that was those two scenes in particular, taken out completely, and so Matt Stone and Trey Parker had that, and they also got in trouble for the Nazi zombies in it, because swastikas, and Germany's still very sensitive about being told, hey, you were the bad guy 60 years ago.
Yeah.
70 years ago at this point. Now, Matt Stone talked to Metro, which is a video game site. We aren't going to change the content. So we've written little cards to explain what is going on, what they've censored, and we made a joke out of it. We're talking about 30 or 40 seconds out of the whole experience, but we wanted people to know exactly where the line was. This is what this is what the line says on the cards. This is what you couldn't see, but for some reason the rest of the world could, and we have no idea why. It's not cool, it's lame, ridiculous, and stupid. Yeah.
Okay.
I must admit, I understand. I personally not a big fan of censorship myself, but like I'm like really surprised that some of the shit that's in the game is in there.
Even for a South Park game?
Even for a South Park game, like there's just there's some things in here that make the TV show look tame because there's stuff that they can't get away with.
Oh, of course, yeah, FDA, right?
Yeah, FCC.
Or yeah, FCC. FDA.
Yeah, I don't know how the FDA was gonna regulate South Park. Hey, those cheesy poofs look unhealthy. Now, I'll say this though: if you're worried about South Park Stick of Truth being too vulgar, your fears might be a little bit confirmed. If you are squeamish about anything, or if you're not completely open-minded and not going to be butthurt about any possible thing, then you're fine to play the game. If not, you're going to feel insulted. I mean, just downright insulted.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, when was the last time we had a discussion on censorship? I believe it was Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yep.
Yeah. So we're just slowly pushing the envelope.
Slowly pushing. Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we need another manhunt at this point.
Okay, there you go.
No, not really. I don't think Fox News can handle another video game where you put a trash bag over a guy's head. I don't think they could do that. I think it would make Megyn Kelly have a heart attack. Now let's talk about Titanfall.
Titanfall.
And guess what? There's issues.
Well, of course.
Of course, there are server issues with Titanfall, which is completely expected. I was not surprised at all by this. The PC version is even like having issues just connecting with Origin, getting a 503 error. Though,
Battlefield 3.
Though as of today, they said that most of the PC errors are corrected. But I've heard that like this, not only Titanfall on Xbox Live is being affected by the surge of players, but that Xbox Live is being affected by it. That's didn't Microsoft say it's like we're dumping so much money into having triple the servers we have the next year? I'm pretty sure they said that at like their Xbox reveal.
Hmm.
Yeah, way to go with that server expansion. Now, time for some sad news, Manny.
Oh, what's that, Corey?
First sad news. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt has been delayed to 2015.
Oh, as long as it's delayed and not canceled.
True. I mean, I don't see it being canceled, but the fact it's delayed and it's like, shit, this was, I mean, like, this would have easily been Game of the Year this year. Hands down.
Yeah.
Uh,
Plus, it's the first time it's coming to the PlayStation, isn't it? Like before, it was just an Xbox or PC exclusive.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's a huge deal.
Well, now the game is expected to launch in February of 2015. And you know what? I'm not surprised that the game got delayed, though it pains me a bit that it got delayed. But the game is 50 times the size of Witcher 2. And The Witcher 2 was really freaking big.
Hmm.
Also, from what I hear, there is no fast travel system. Yay!
Don't cheat your way through it.
Yeah, so it's gonna be like Dragon's Dogma all over again, man.
I know.
Gotta run all the way to this side of the map, and then run it all the way to the other side of the map. Now, for some bad news, and you're not gonna like this.
Oh, lay it on me, Corey.
Drive Club may not release this year.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, I'm a little bummed about that because, especially because this was supposed to be a launch title too.
Exactly. I'm mega bummed about it. Are you
And
kidding?
it was announced over a year ago too.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. But in an interview with IGN, Sony Worldwide Studios Scott Rode explains that the company, Sony, who owns Evolution, doesn't want to release the game before it's ready. I'm okay with that approach. I'd rather have that than the EA approach, which is fuck it, fix the bugs later. Now,
Exactly.
he goes on to say, so I think that at PlayStation, perhaps more than any other place, we're willing to kind of eat that cost, Rhodes says, and to go back to the drawing board and make sure the game is great before we ship it. And that's what's going on right now with that game. You know what? I'm cool that they did that. Just I want to play these games now, especially a racing game. I'm like, I only got Forza 4 to hold me over on my racing appetite right now, and it's starting to wane thin as I just finished the career mode in it. So it's just like, what do I do? And not many people are playing the multiplayer anymore because everybody moved on to either Forza 5 on the Xbox One or Forza Horizon.
Well, you do also have a Need for Speed.
True, but that's not what I want, man. That's an arcade racer. I want a driver's game. Right,
of course.
I want a game to where I can literally drift that thing on a dime, and if I flick that stick the wrong way, they need to hose me off the road. I want something like that. And unfortunately, I'm not going to buy an Xbox One for Forza 5 because as much as I love Forza 5, it's stripped down compared to Forza 4. Less tracks, less cars, less game modes, the works. So, come on, Sony. Just please, like, hire a few more interns and then don't pay them for a few weeks and just have them work on the game a little bit harder. Something. Anything. I need a racing game, Annie. Help me.
Well, I already bought you one, so I don't know what else to do.
I need more. Now, for a bit of somber news. Really somber. Kind of depressingly somber. No, this is a bit of... And I mean, this is really a somber event. A pro gamer has attempted suicide over a match-fixing scandal in South Korea. Cheon Min-ki, a member of AHQ esports team for League of Legends, recently revealed that he and his team members were victims of a scandal perpetrated by their team manager, No Dae-chu. God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm butchering these Korean names. It's been so long since I've had to do that. Cheon's manager allegedly lied about their sponsorship from AHQ, promising money and housing that didn't exist. He would threaten his team into throwing matches to profit from illegal gambling. Shortly after revealing all this on the Korean forum Invin, Cheon attempted to take his own life by jumping from a 12-story building. Luckily, he survived and just woke from his induced coma.
That's pretty intense gaming there.
Yes. So, I don't know what to say about that because it's super, super sad. So let's move on to the middle segment because I don't want to stick on sad things.
Okay, well, something to brighten up your day. Let me ask you this, Corey. Are you watching any series of TV shows or movies on Netflix or any other streaming media right now?
Breaking Bad is one.
Breaking Bad. Now, let me ask you this. As much as you like Breaking Bad and that you're watching it on streaming, would you consider ever buying the DVD set, or would you just stay with the streaming?
If I didn't have access to the stream, I actually would consider buying the DVD set.
Right, right. But for now, since you do have access to the stream, you're just going to stick with that?
Yeah.
Well, the good news is you're really not alone on this topic. In fact, local articles are suggesting that people in general are starting to sway more towards having all their media in digital form. So basically, it's first started with our music. People like their music on MP3 players rather than CDs. Now it's since touched our movies, and that's why we see a lot of streaming videos and movies. And even now, you see those HD one-time digital copies when you go buy a DVD or a Blu-ray at the store. And also, we see it in our games, like with streaming media like Steam.
Stream.
So, yeah, Stream. So, you have all these different venues of getting your media through strictly digital mediums. So, I guess what I'm trying to get here is that, gone or slowly gone are the times when we get our media on hard physical copies, and now everything's done digitally. I guess what I'm trying to get at is, what's your take on that, Corey, and how do you think about it?
It's gonna happen eventually. It's already happened with music, which is it's happened with books and music already, which is the two oldest forms of media that we have. It's starting to happen with movies. However, the problem is that some people who are fans or whatever would like to have a copy or whatever to hold on to. Plus, when you buy DVDs, they tend to already give you a digital copy, so you already have that forever, as opposed to having it on a stream service where it's stuck to a contract and may disappear after a while. Also, there's also the special features, commentary. People love that shit. Like, for example, I'm actually pre-ordering the Gurren Lagann Blu-ray set that's coming out in a few months from Aniplex, and it's
nice.
like $120. And reason being is because I love the show and I'd rather have it forever, because I initially watched it on Netflix, but then what happened is that it disappeared because they didn't renew the contract. So I could never watch the dub version again, and I could never, because I watched the dub version first, I couldn't get over the Japanese voiceovers. No offense to the Japanese voice actors, but then again, the dub itself was also really, really fucking good. When you got Steve Bloom, Kylie Bear, Yuri Lowenthal, and then Johnny Young Bosch on the same fucking cast.
Holy crap. Yeah.
Especially when you got Steve Bloom playing a gay man. Want to see gay Spike Spiegel? Boom. That and the other DVD set comes with like a shit ton of stuff, and whatever for fans and whatever. And it's one of the first few box sets I would ever buy. I'm also over time buying the Dragon Ball Z Blu-ray sets that are releasing over time now.
Yeah.
And I only buy things like movies and stuff like that if I really treasure it, or if it's something that I really like. Like, normally I don't buy Blu-ray movies. The only Blu-ray movie I've bought literally in the past year that's not an anime was Rush, the Ron Howard
Oh,
film that you and me saw, and
okay.
it's because it was like one of my favorite films last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that, and it was also it's a hidden gem. Now, but nobody really saw it. The film barely broke even.
Mm-hmm.
But games, however, I don't know, and I'm really reluctant to give up my discs, and I think that's because that you and me were part of the generation where we grew up to where games weren't even discs, but something very physical, a cartridge. So we were used to actually having the weight of the game on our hands, having the material itself. Whereas just opposing to staring at a computer screen, you don't have that same feeling. You don't get that. And I guess people like to have physical things because one problem with digital is that it is tied down to one, the internet, and two, a service. Say both of those things go away, you're fucked.
Yeah, yeah. Unless, of course, you can save it on some kind of hard drive.
True.
But and here's the thing. Like, I remember when I was first introduced to Steam, I was actually very reluctant to even look into it because one of my concerns was, well, what if one day I can't log into my account and then I can't have access to my games, or even worse, like what if I just log in and my games are missing? It's like, well, what the hell? Is someone going to do something about it?
Actually,
But
my biggest worry is when people pull an Apple, which is it's like, hey, you can re-download your if you move your iTunes account to a different computer, you can re-download your stuff, but you can only do it up to 5 times.
yeah,
And I'm like, shit. What if you have like a huge like song library, and then after 5 computers, it's like, well, fuck, you don't have that song library anymore.
mm-hmm.
That you could have dropped hundreds of thousands of dollars on.
Yeah, yeah. Plus, I mean, for me, visually, it's not very gratifying if I get, like, let's say, the golden collector's edition of a Total War series, and yet I don't even get to see it on my shelf, or get to show it off. It's all on my PC.
Well, I mean,
But,
okay, next week, Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is coming out. I
right.
am buying it. I am buying the physical copy, not for $30 instead of the $20 digital copy. Why? I'd rather have that physical copy. It's just more because, well, one, I'm tied down to PlayStation. I'm tied down to the internet. I'm tied down to my account then on PlayStation. So meaning that if I lose that PlayStation account or somebody hacks that PlayStation account and I can't access it anymore, I lose that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, basically not to beat a dead horse here since we covered quite a bit. And especially we did cover this a while back, I think on like our 50th episode where we talked about, the evolution of games and the idea that someday it might be all streamed through the Gaikai or something like that. I think that there is still going to be a little resistance and it's going to be a while until everything is strictly online only. But being that with companies like Sony, especially during the announcement at the PS4 having physical disc and that you can still retain used disc, I think there's still some hope for us veterans who
No,
prefer to keep it
I
that
don't
way.
see games going fully digital for at least 20 years. At least. And the reason I say that is because when something costs more, people are less inclined to make it as an intangible purchase. So it's just like, oh, iTunes, instead of like going out and buying an album, it's just like, oh, I can buy each individual song from that album I was going to buy for $12 instead of get those songs for $1 a piece. You don't care about that. It's like you don't think about that. But when you're dropping $60, that's a good chunk of money. To regular people,
Mm-hmm.
unless you're like one of those guys that's like, I buy games every day. To which I say, Switch Lives. But
But yeah, I think that's a good point to conclude on that topic.
yeah. So do you want to move on to the next segment?
Yeah, let's go for it.
It is time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It is time for people doing stupid shit. Hit the music. All right, I got two stories. First one involves my favorite little cruising company, Carnival. I don't mean that sarcastically. I really do freaking love Carnival. I've been on 4 of their cruises and I've never had issues with anyone, and it's fantastic service for the money. I mean, seriously, like if you live in fucking Fort Lauderdale or in Florida, you could literally for like $250 for less than that, go to the Bahamas for a weekend. How else are you gonna get a vacation that awesome for that much for that little?
Oh, okay. Carnival the cruise line.
Carnival Cruise Line. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, but Carnival is being sued because last year, in February, one of their ships, the Triumph, had a fire, and as it was coming back from Cozumel, Mexico, to Fort Plano, I think, Texas, and basically the ship was adrift for a couple days, and they had to wait for people to come out, Coast Guard, whatever. And because of this, they had to endure horrible conditions, which included basically saying that there was a foul stench because the engine broke. There was no plumbing, there was no water, no electricity, and you're basically which no air conditioning. So that sucks.
Sochi, Russia.
Yeah, exactly. And some people, they're like, oh, we had to camp out on the decks and stuff like that with tarps and stuff like that. And they're saying Carnival didn't do enough. And now they're saying that, and now 33 people are saying that they're still suffering medical and mental problems because of this. I fucking kid you not. And they want $5,000 a month for the rest of their lives.
Oh yeah, was this on MSN or something? I could have sworn I saw this.
This was like on MSN, Fox News, MSNBC, you name it. This was on everything.
Yeah.
You know, these passengers are complaining of lingering emotional issues such as post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, depression, and some have physical ailments that they blame on the conditions like leg pain, diarrhea, upper respiratory problems, and even aggravated hemorrhoids.
Jeez, that's kind of extreme.
Can I ask a question? How the fuck does you having diarrhea right now relate to you being on a ship a year ago? Or, oh, my leg is cramped. It must be from that cruise I had a year ago where I had to camp outside because of the fucking shitty conditions. Okay,
PTSD, man.
I'm not buying this one fucking bit. Now, was Carnival responsible for the fire, and should they be blamed? Should they take a fine for that? Yes, I think they should. But this case is fucking stupid, and these people actually, like, they have no proof of this either. This is the interesting part. They have no proof.
So how do they plan on it standing up in court?
I don't know. I mean, look. I mean, hell, I could claim that I got post-traumatic stress disorder from going to Wakarusa last year and having to go and shit outside in the rain in the mud because the plumbing broke. But you know what? I'm not going to sue Wakarusa over that because I'm not a fucking asshole. So these people are just money-grubbing assholes that see a chance to say, hey, here's a way I could get money and not have to work for the rest of my life. Swing!
Unfortunately.
I want to punch these people in the face so fucking hard.
So
and I feel so bad for Carnival because they're like literally like the model of like PR, perfectionism, and overall business management in a cruising industry, and yet they're like everybody's punching bag.
So is this an episode of people doing stupid shit, or Corey going on a rant?
Me going on a rant. But these people are doing really stupid shit by basically suing for something that is completely unrelated with no proof. Boom.
Boom.
People doing stupid shit. Now, if you really want to, now we really want to talk about stupid, and here's really stupid. And it just this title says it all. Missing woman. Actually, you know what? Here, I want to read it to you. The story instead of just reading the headline, because I think this will have a little bit more punch. A group of tourists spent hours Saturday looking for a missing woman near Iceland's Elgeria Canyon. Sorry, I don't speak Icelandic. Only to find her among the search party.
Okay.
So the group was traveling through Iceland on a tour bus and stopped near the volcanic canyon in the Southern Heights Saturday afternoon. The reports say that the woman on the bus left to change her clothes and freshen up. When she came back, her busmates didn't recognize her. Soon, there was word of a missing passenger. The woman didn't recognize the description and joined in the search. About 50 people searched for the terrain by vehicles on foot. The Coast Guard was even ready in a helicopter. But then the search got called off when they realized that she was in the search party.
Hold on. Surely somewhere along the line, even when the woman came back and they said, hey, so-and-so's missing, she should have spoken up and been like, hey, that's me. Like, even if they couldn't recognize her. Like, you know, if I had to go to the men's room and then I came back to the group and then you're like, hey, we're looking for Manny. I'm like, dude, it's me. What are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, how does that even happen? Because at some point in time, she has to ask, like, who are we looking for? So then that way she has some identity of who she's trying to look for. I mean, I don't even.
I don't know how it happened either, but this is just too good.
It is, Corey.
But, I mean, hey, at least she found herself. And that is the end of people doing stupid shit. And it's now time to move on to shoutouts. Which my shoutout is a big fuck you to From Software for Dark Souls 2.
Oh.
I have finished the tutorial level where you go through and it tells you kind of how to play the game as you're fighting zombies. And then I go and beat up a bunch of zombies in this tower and I can't progress any further. I'm like, okay, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. So I take a different path. And it's just like, okay, this is the path you're probably supposed to go because that's what the game makes it look like it's telling you. And then literally the very first enemy is this giant hulking behemoth with a sword.
Whoa.
I beat him. And then right behind him is a buddy who's a giant hulking behemoth with an even bigger sword. And I get my ass kicked every fucking time. I've died at least 15 times to these fuckers. So, fuck you From Software. You're not making my review of this game any easier.
Oh, I didn't realize you were reviewing that game too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, duh. You picked up that one, Stick of Truth, and what else was it?
Oh, Bravely Default.
Bravely Default. Yeah. How's that working out for you? Have you even tried it?
Oh my god, I loved it.
Well, that's good.
I love it. Especially the battle system.
Really?
Battle system is my favorite part. I find it addictive. Now, I mean, you have Bravely Default, right?
No, I don't.
What?
And yeah, remember I was telling you I'm really not convinced with the battle system. It's not so much the Brave and Default setup. It's more like the characters don't even run up and hit the opponent. It's just they kind of swing their arms around and it's assumed that it does the damage. I don't know. I just didn't kind of like it. Didn't have that like intensive feel, I suppose.
I don't know. I love the game, and I don't know. I haven't felt this excited about a handheld RPG since, and I know this is stretching back, and this is saying a lot, since Golden Sun. Like, I don't know. There's just something, the way that the game makes me feel, that's just like, I haven't felt something like this since I played Golden Sun as a kid.
Okay.
So, well, not as a kid, more as a teenager, but yeah. Now, what is your shout out, Manny?
My shout out, Corey, and I'm sending it right to you in the form of a web link, goes to none other than the anime Seitokai Yakuin Domo, which is basically this ridiculous anime about these high school kids who are just starting their high school life. And at first you think, oh great, another slice of life. We've seen this, Clan Ed, you name it. No, this is totally different. This is like a parody of Clan Ed, Haruhi Mizushima, and some of the other, slice of life animes you've seen. But more importantly, they really hit you hard with the humor, the sexual tension. They even have like pervasive, sexual humor on the show too, and they really
there's always persuasive sexual humor in Japan shows.
Yeah,
and
but
even like my
one.
favorite show, Gurren Lagann, there's still some sexual stuff.
Yeah, but this one's like every 5 minutes. It's really ridiculous how they pull it off sometimes, but it's good to finally see a show again that makes fun of itself, really as well, especially when you see all the slice of life that take themselves quite seriously.
I don't know. I wish there was more shows like Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill where basically it's just like, there's sexual stuff in here. What the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Yeah,
it's just like it's like they're proud of it, and it's like we don't give a shit. We're gonna kick ass and stuff like that. It's just like I love shows like that.
Yeah. Well, this one kind of does the same thing. It's just rather than let's kick ass, it's more like let's laugh about it. So there you go.
So let's kick ass. Let's laugh about it.
Yeah.
That sounds like that kind of sounds like us a little bit. Hey, Maddie, let's go to this convention and kick ass, yeah! We just end up laughing the whole time.
Pretty much.
Anyways, that is the end of shoutouts, and that's the end of episode 64 of Pixels and Bits on the Overshield.com. My name is Corey.
And I'm Manny.
And we'll see you all next week, folks. Bye-bye.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Bye.